thanks so much for downloading the episode. On the show today, we talk about anxiety, self-inflicted on my part. We also talk about flirting. In Paula's world, her son is experiencing some serious flirting issues and how terrible we are at it. Plus, H-Ugly and Awkward Moments of the Week, Flirting Edition. Thank you so much. ShopLipandClip.com. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie.
Stay away from her. She's a whore.
Paula.
I know how to be me, or I know how to be a total slut.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the ugly truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is episode 361.
We are Sisters Who Podcast.
Yes, we are. Before we get into our first topic, which is somewhat of a source of one of the many reasons why I'm having anxiety this week, is Malia's friends. They're all seniors, and half of them are 18, and it's a big group, and they can't find a place that everybody agrees on to have dinner at senior ball.
Yeah.
Because when you're a senior, you don't get a limo. You drive yourself. Because you're going to be out all night. You're not coming home till dawn, Last thing you need is a limo to keep you stranded somewhere and take you home at a reasonable hour.
Right.
So I offered, and I said, hey, if you want, you and your friends can eat here, and then you guys can just leave from here. And that way, because I'm sure some of your friends are going to want to leave their car here, blah, blah, blah. Because they usually get ready at our house. But they're getting ready at another friend's house, and then they're all going to come over here. And so now it's become a thing, and now it's an event. So we're going to have 15 kids and their parents.
Oh my God.
And it's I know, it's a thing. Now it's a party. So I told Daryl, I said, so yeah, I think, he goes, Jamie, he goes, what happened? How did this turn into this? And I said, I don't know, but I think it's going to be great. And he said, that's really expensive. And I said, well, and I told Malia, and I said, actually, I was going to suggest that since nobody has to pay for dinner out, which would be like $50 or $60 a couple, perhaps you could suggest that if they wanted to donate any kind of money to the food, not only would they show up and it would be really fun, but it would defer some of the costs of whatever we're going to do.
Right.
And she was like, I don't think I should ask anybody. And I said, Malia Kay, I said, you are offering a super cheap option and all of your friends want to do it. It's not a bad thing to ask them to donate to the cause. Especially when they're saving a shit ton of money. So anyway, she came back to me a couple days later. She goes, not only is everyone giving me a ton of money, they are so excited that they're coming here and their parents can't wait. It's going to be fun. And I said, okay.
That's weird.
Yeah, so I told Daryl, I said, well, you know what this means? I mean, this means we're painting walls, and he's like, wait a minute.
Wow.
It's going to be fun, though. I think it'll be a good time, and it's the last time we're going to throw a party like this, because senior ball that's it. It's the end.
Yeah, the next thing you'll probably be throwing at your house is going to be a baby shower.
Shut up. No, actually, we're having a little grad party, but that's different.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of an open house where everybody can just come in and out for like a few hours, which I hope you come.
Of course I will. What
yeah,
day
it'll be
is it?
super
I mean,
fun.
Yeah.
It's
what do I care? I have no life.
It's going to be on a Thursday. It'll be fun. Anyway, so that's going on. And then I had a ton of medical appointments scheduled back to back this week. And I was like, what am I doing to myself? I'm walking panic attack right now. I have my mammogram on Thursday and I was supposed to get my teeth cleaning done on Wednesday. And I said, okay, both things that cause a lot of anxiety.
Like the two most stressful things in your life to do in the same week.
Okay, so I had the teeth cleaning because I go every 3 months.
Right.
And so this was my 3-month check to go in. And I don't like them because they're painful and it takes forever for her to find because I have to be numb. I have the most sensitive mouth on the planet. It takes like 15 minutes to get everything right. So I'm experiencing pain for, and I don't mind the shots. It's the laser and shit that it hurts.
Well, you get those under the gum treatment.
Yes, I do. And it's to save my teeth. I'm not interested in getting dentures at 50. I'm not 50, but by then I don't want to have to call it a day and say, hey, I've changed my mind on caring. Just give me the fakes.
I'm going to be one of those people on TV that's playing golf talking about how bad my teeth were. And then I went to the dentist's office one day and got all implants and I came out smiling.
Yeah.
With like these giant, bright, fake teeth.
So I went to Dr. Dede.
Exactly.
No, I'm not doing that.
That's going to be me.
Anyway, so yeah, so the dental cleaning causes me a week of anxiety before. And then my doctor has been calling me saying, hey, you're a month behind. You need to get your mammogram done. And they call me once a week to remind me, friendly. Just want to remind you, you're a month and a half now behind on your mammogram check, your annual.
Well, especially since last week you had a spot.
Oh, last year?
Last year, I mean.
Yes,
yeah.
I have a cyst that apparently I've had for a really long time, but it gets bigger or smaller depending on the hormones, I assume.
Yeah, I have one of those, like I think on the left side of my left breast that depending on like where I am in my cycle,
yes,
it'll fill up with fluid or whatever. I don't know what it fills up with, but
you're lumpy.
I do have lumpy boobs. I've been told that before.
Yes.
I have very lumpy breasts.
Mine are dense, which is very common. As you get older, they get dense, more dense as the elasticity starts to wane.
Yours are getting more dense. Mine are starting to feel more like mashed potatoes.
Well, as long as it feels like grapes.
Just like my ass. God.
You and your ass.
I'm going to start running. I seriously am. I know I say that all the time, but I'm really going to do it this time.
Yeah, you sound like Daryl with his walking. Sure. I'll believe it when I see it.
I saw a picture of him in Bodega once.
Twice he's gone. 3 times he's gone, actually. I'm proud of him for going, really. And I'm not being sarcastic. I'm genuinely proud of him for doing it because he doesn't do anything. And so the fact that he's now running again every other week, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's better than nothing.
It's moving.
Yes, it's all that matters. So, and before I get back to my boob thing, the doctor had some alarming results on his cholesterol. And so I said, we're making some drastic changes, not forever, but for at least 10 days. We're going to be super drastic about it. He's been such a baby. He has been such a baby. He's like, I'm just hungry all the time. And I'm like, no one said you couldn't eat. You just can't have beer or pasta. That's it. He's like, I just want snacks. And I'm like, then eat a snack. Jeez.
Seriously.
But yeah, he's been fun.
I know.
It's been fun.
Everybody acts like it ruins your life. Try having celiac disease.
No kidding. Anyway, so the impending dental appointment was coming. And then I finally said, fine, I will call and make my mammogram. And it wasn't that I was afraid. Strangely, only thing that I'm not afraid of is the freaking mammogram. It's the weirdest thing. I mean, that should be the thing that causes me the most anxiety. Because I'm always so sure that one day I will have cancer. And
I'm just scared to get my boob squeezed. I just don't want to. I mean, honestly, I've probably had far worse done to them.
If you've had a child, you've had worse. Whether it's cesarean or vaginal, it doesn't matter. You've had worse.
Yeah, that's true.
Mammograms
and I did
are nothing.
breastfeed. And
yes. And
I've had very, very aggressive nipple boob play before. So I'm sure it's fine. But I just picture these 2 plastic like plates just, having like a shortage and then just squeezing the shit out of them until they pop or something like that. And
okay, I'll explain a mammogram in a second. It's not plastic, it's glass, and metal. So I called, and there's the woman, the place I go to, the imaging place I go to, the woman who I have had for the last 4 years
at least. Yeah,
she is amazing. And she only works in the morning till like 10 or 11 in the afternoon or in the morning. She just works the morning shift. And so now I just say, I want first available. So 7 in the morning, if possible. Okay, we have an opening on Thursday. And I said, of this week? Yes. All right, I'll take it. And then I'm sitting there, so I hang up and I told Daryl, I'm like, you're not gonna believe it. My mammogram is scheduled for this week, Thursday. Every other time it's been like 4 weeks out or whatever. And he goes, that's really great. I'm like, yeah. Do you think they did it because of last year? Do you think I'm an emergency? Do you think they're concerned?
Right. Do you have like a mark next to your name that says, ASAP?
I said, do you think that's why? He goes, no, I think there was an opening. I said, I don't know. Now I'm concerned.
Is this what married people talk about?
Now I'm sweating. I'm like, what if this is like what if there's a little notification that says this one needs to come in ASAP when she calls,
You're flagged.
Yeah, I'm flagged as a flight risk and needs to get in immediately so they can carve out whatever thing is, the gross boob death that's in my body.
They're just waiting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hurry up, Jamie. It's time to come to Jesus.
What do they call it? Like a waiting duck?
God. No. So my mind is like, oh, this is such good news. I'm getting it out of the way immediately. And then, 3 beats later, it's like, why did I get in so quickly? Now I'm worried. Do you think they were waiting? So that's been going on. And then I did a really dumb thing.
Okay.
Let's see, was it Sunday or Saturday? It was Saturday. And I have HBO. And on HBO, every Saturday, they put a new movie on. Just like from the year before. Yeah, so it's like, so this last weekend, it was The Nun, that really scary movie about the nun. Remember that one?
No, I don't.
You would if you saw that. Remember, everybody was talking about it. It's the nun that looks like Marilyn Manson, and it was super duper scary last year.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to super scary movies because I just know I'll never see them.
Right, and it's a supernatural one, and anything involving the Catholic Church and the devil.
Absolutely will never see anything like that.
Right, and so it's right up our alley. I don't invite
those things into my home.
No, those are invitations. So a lot of faiths believe that.
Oh, good. So we're not the only one.
No, a lot of people believe that you can invite demons into your home via articles of book or film or Ouija boards and stuff.
I would think so.
You don't mess with that shit. So it was like, I felt safe because it was the very end. There was like 15 minutes of it left. So I'm like, oh, well, and I love scary movies, but I don't like supernatural scary. I like slasher films or vampire. And so I'm like, oh, well, things are coming to an end so I can see the end and it won't be so scary because usually that's when the demon gets killed or whatever. So I'll just watch it. But I watched enough. It was fucking terrifying. And
my God, are you serious?
I don't think it got like marginally. It was like 57% liked it. You know what I mean? It was kind of those horror movies never really do well. And I mean, I think there was one, this is like the prequel to that one really super scary one about the haunted house at the possessed house where the couple, they're like exorcists or something.
Jesus Christ. What the hell?
I can't remember the name of it. But this was like the prequel to it, like how it all began. And so it was this demon. And so it's terrorizing these nuns in this nunnery in Romania. And this demon takes the form of a nun. And it's freaking terrifying. And whenever it screams at you, it blows you back. Like that's its superpower, is it can like blow you back with its scream. And so anyway, I'm watching this thing and I'm like, oh, look at that. And then the imagery is so creepy. And so I'm watching it and I'm like, wow, that was really scary. And I'm like, oh, cool. Well, it's over. So I just moved on with my day. No big deal. Didn't think about it again until I turned off the TV at 12:30 in the morning that night. The second I turned the television off, the instant I turned the television off, I see the scary nun in my face, in my eye, in my brain. And I'm like, why did I watch that? What?
Did you text Daryl to come downstairs and get you?
No, I was in bed.
Oh,
I was in bed. And I was like, and I hear him snoring silently, peacefully away. And I'm just laying there going, oh my God.
Did you like kick him just to be like, Daryl, wake up?
I just had to move around to like blink my eyes a little bit because I'm like, okay, I'm freaking myself out. Stop it. But I've done that before. One time I did that when I was a kid and I turned on a channel and it was super black screen. I'm like, oh, is the screen not working? It was The Exorcist. Ah! And I turned it on right when there was a jumping out point.
God.
And I was like, ah! It was like 2 a.m. It was ridiculous. So ridiculous. Anyway, yes. So I keep giving myself anxiety for no damn reason. It's like all self-inflicted, but a mammogram is really not that bad. First, the thing I hate the most, honestly, is that you say you can't wear deodorant or perfume when you come in.
What?
Yeah, you can't have any kind of chemicals on your body.
What if you see, that's the worst because when I get nervous or scared, like that's when my BO is the worst.
You and everyone else on the planet. Yes.
It's like the certain and that's when my back starts to sweat because Dad and I are very similar in that regard.
Yes.
Dad and I don't sweat. I don't know if you sweat.
No, not at all.
Okay, no.
Nope.
In fact, I have told so many well, I shouldn't say so many. I haven't had that many. But I have told many partners that I don't sweat. at all during sex, because they're just like, oh, I'm gonna make you sweat, and I'm like, actually you won't, because I don't sweat. And one time one of them is just like, see, you're sweating. I'm like, no, that's you dripping on me.
Ew.
So anyways, but I do start to get like a little like clammy, I guess you can put it, when I get nervous, and I can almost feel it's like a cutting sensation in my armpit.
Oh yes,
and my back. And so I know if I had my arm up with like a freaking technician there in my pit, messing with my boob,
so that's the worst part is when they say they're going to call me and say, just a reminder, you have your mammogram at 7 a.m. and by the way, no perfume, no deodorant. I'm like, all right. And so you go in, so you have your little shirt on, the little vestie on.
Okay. And
what's funny at this one specifically, it looks like a dressing room. You walk in and there's like 3 doors, 3 dressing rooms, and then there's a little bench. So there's, sometimes there's a bunch of ladies just chilling, waiting for their turn to get their mammogram or whatever. And you feel like you're waiting for a dressing room to like try on jeans or something. So, right. I mean, there's a mirror and everything in there. So
what are you going to look at? Yourself in the vest?
Apparently. Well, because you have to redress. So I assume that it's a courtesy.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess if you like going straight to work afterwards.
Yeah, so you put the little vest on and you walk in. My person is one of the nicest humans I've ever met in the medical world. She's so great. So it's this big machine that looks like it's just like a big machine that kind of looks like one of those things where teachers put plastic on so they can write on it. What are those things called? The projector?
Yeah,
it looks like a projector. And so, she's got to touch her boob and she's got to she places it gently on the plate, the glass plate, which you can see, it's clear.
Okay.
And then they slowly bring it down and they tell you to hold on to a certain thing a certain way. And they slowly crank it down. And just when you think you're like, oh, this isn't so bad, then she cranks it one more time. You're like, okay. All right. But it's doable. It's not excruciating. And you can't see how flat your boob is. So that's good. Because I don't think I'd want to see it.
I don't think I'd want to know that.
I don't either. And so then they do it. And so they do 2 per boob. So they do one way, and then they flip it and do it another way. And then they do the other boob. And then you're done. And so last year when I had it done, I knew that she had seen something. Because she goes, all right, well, you have a great day. And every other time she's like, well, I don't really see anything of concern. So you might get a letter, blah, blah, blah. So last year when she said, all right, you have a great day, I'm like, oh, no.
What'd you see?
She saw something. So, of course, my doctor calls and says, yeah, well, and it's like, don't panic. This is very common. And I said, what? And he said, they found a little mark. It's probably nothing. It's usually nothing. It's rarely anything. But you need to have a second follow-up. All right. And so I hang up and I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. I've gone.
It's like,
yes. I've gone completely deaf. I can't see. I'm like my dog.
Your body's trying to pass out.
It's desperately trying to remove myself from this place. I mean, it is over. So I go downstairs. I didn't say anything, and finally goes, who was that? And I'm like, oh, it's Dr. Fung. He got my results for mammogram. He goes, what is it? He's like, I'm dying. He's like, what? I said, I have to go back. He's like, what do you mean? Wait a minute. And so, chaos ensued. And so for 3, I called because they weren't calling me to make the follow-up appointment. So I finally called and I said, I see this is how it's going to be. I have to be aggressive. So I said, hey, you guys were supposed to call me for a follow-up. What's going on? They're like, oh, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here you are. Okay, what about like 2 weeks from today? I'm like, 2 weeks?
Yeah, really?
They said, look, if it was serious, we would have gotten you in the same day. That's how it works. And I said, oh, all right. And so I said, so for 2 weeks, I had to wait for the follow-up. And of course, I was preparing for my death. I was crying. I was sure that they had made a mistake, that it was something serious. It was the worst 2 weeks of my life.
Wow.
I'm already prepared for a follow-up because I think that's just the way it is. I've talked to a lot of women friends who have said, I've never not had a follow-up. Like, it's always a follow-up. So I'm prepared for it. Maybe this is just the second part of mammograms, is that if they find something, they always do the follow-up. I just have to deal with it. And so I'm a little more mentally prepared this year so that if I do have to get it, then it is what it is. And they even told me, they said, that thing isn't going anywhere. The only time we would ever remove it surgically is if it was causing you discomfort. I'm like, okay. Right. And of course, Mom is like, Jamie, that's how it starts.
Oh, God. Yes, the forever optimist.
Yes. And she goes, well, that's what they said to my sisters. I'm like, your sisters were alcoholics and they smoked. Stop it. I'm not any of those things.
Don't you just love our mother?
She's just waiting for the next crisis.
The one you can go to for comfort and love.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. If I get results and our mother shows up, I know shit got real fast.
Seriously.
It's just the way it is.
Just don't make her your emergency contact.
She's not. She is not. Daryl is.
You're my emergency contact for everything, by the way.
That's fine. I won't pull the plug.
In case I, trip over and get a staple to the head or something like that.
Don't worry. I will not let you live like a vegetable. Unless you want to. I mean...
Just make sure there's no brain activity. If there's brain activity, don't pull the plug.
I won't. I will wait until there's just nothing. For a long time, by the way. I'll wait.
Just see what happens. Okay.
Absolutely. Okay.
So I get a call today. Well, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I have a hair appointment. I know. Like, for real. For real. Do? I'm probably going to get a little trim just to see if there's any dead ends, but I'm really happy with the length. I like it super long the way it is.
You might need little layers or something.
I think I'll probably do some layers in the front just to kind of like break up the straightness or whatever it is. I don't know.
Cool.
But I'm doing like full highlights.
Oh, so, blonde, yes.
Blonde, of course.
Okay.
And so I don't look like such a mousy sap, but so I'm like excited about that. Today I get a call. Hi, this is so-and-so from Planned Parenthood. We're just reminding you about your woman's annual appointment that you made and, blah, 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 check. And she's like, it's tomorrow at 9:20. Are you still going to make it? And so I'm sitting in my car, driving in my car, and I'm just like, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Do I do the hair appointment or do I get my health checked?
Hair appointment.
And so I said, I'm actually going to have to cancel that appointment.
It's so hard when you have a good stylist. You don't want to let it go, man.
I don't even know if she's good. This is my first time.
Oh.
I found her on Yelp, for crying out loud. Because my stylist, she got another job.
Oh, she doesn't do hair anymore?
No, she's a radiologist.
Well, I hope this is good.
Yeah, I hope it works out good. I mean, how hard can it be, really? I mean, the salon's pretty highly rated, and
I have trust issues. I could never walk in blindly to a salon. It would be rough. That'd be rough.
I think I should bank on that, considering where I'm at in my life. That's
just why not add it to the pile?
It's another thing I don't need. So
a bad haircut,
and a bad dye job.
My hair is blue.
No, it's just going to be like ash blonde, and I'm going to be like, oh, good, I look 10,000 years older.
Oh, good, I look 50. Thank you.
I look like my mother.
So I look like my mom. She'll love it.
And you took off 4 inches. Perfect.
Excellent. So I have a mom bob and mom hair colored. I look like I'm from Jersey. No, I'm just...
Jesus.
You look like a mob wife now. Let's delve into Paula's world. Now, I saw your incredibly vicious, venomous post where your son is starting to have not girl troubles in the bad way. He's very, very sought after by certain segments of his school.
So basically what happened is Ryan came to me and he said, Mom, he's like, how can you tell if a girl likes you? So me thinking my son is still young and innocent, I'm like, you might catch her glancing at you from across the classroom, or if you look over at her and she's looking at you and then she turns her head, like, to pretend like, she wasn't staring at you or something like that.
Right.
Just little innocent things, or she might, like smile at you, passing you in the hall. I'm like, why do you ask? And he's like, there's this girl in my science class, I think. Every time she walks past me when I'm on the computer, she kind of brushes her hand against my neck. And I'm like, excuse me?
What?
So he says, yeah, she just brushes her hand across my neck. And I'm like just one time, or has this happened multiple times? He's like, no, like multiple times. And I'm just like, really?
What?
I'm like, who is this girl? And he's like, oh, her name is blah, blah, blah. She's got brown hair. He's like, I think she's Hispanic. And I'm like, oh, is that so? So he's like, yeah, she's got these nails. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I'm going to stop you right there.
I don't want to hear anymore.
I said, what do you mean she's got these nails? And so then he says, well, when she brushes her hand against me, she kind of drags her nails along the back of my neck. And I was just like, so I was literally like, my blood was boiling at this point. And I said, she's a Hispanic girl and she's dragging her nails on the back of your neck, Ryan. I said, Ryan, she is going into territory that you are just not ready for.
Yeah, I think that's a little above his pay grade.
That's what I was thinking. I'm just like, I said, you're just not ready for this, period.
No.
I just am saying that she clearly knows things that you don't know, and you don't need to be delving into this territory with her. And he's like, well, what's the big deal? And I said, Ryan, I'm only half Mexican and I have nails. And I know when I like a boy, I know what I do with my fingernails.
Oh my God. Did he blush?
He just kind of looked at me weird.
He's like, what are you talking about?
No, I think he's just like, oh, Mom. So, I hide nothing from my child. And so
I would just say, stay far away from that one.
I just said, just be careful. And
yeah.
So he says, well, I think it might be over anyway. I'm like, why do you say that? And he says, I was going to invite her to go to the library sometime, like during lunch and like hang out. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's, innocent enough. No one can touch anyone in the library inappropriately or.
Well, wait, is the library library or is the library code for something?
No, it's the library at school.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said, as long as you're not like in the corner reading erotic novels and touching each other's parts, I said, then, I'm all right with it. And so he said, no, Mom, it's not like that. But as soon as I said that, he says, I was talking to my friends about it. And then he says, as soon as I told my friends that, they ran up to her and said, Ryan's going to ask you out.
Oh my God.
And I said, well, your first mistake, Ryan, was telling your friends.
That's right.
And I said, you'd never tell your friends your game plan.
Ever.
And so
they'll blow it for you in a minute.
The other day, this was a couple days later, I said, so what's going on with Fingernails? And he's just like, nothing. She doesn't do it anymore. I'm like, why? Was it because of what your friends did? He's like, I think so. Aww. He says, I asked my friend and who knows her, and he asked her if she liked me, and she said only as a friend. So,
oh boy. Wah, wah, wah.
And I'm like, that's bullshit. She probably did like you. She just, got scared because all your friends.
I want to know what older sibling suggested that she string her long nails against some guy's neck.
Seriously.
I mean, they're not even
13 years old.
It's like, I don't want to say, but, well, listen, I know a lot of people lost their virginity at 14, so it's not shocking, but my point is that obviously it was even maybe a bit too advanced for her. Can we maybe suggest that perhaps she didn't know what she was doing?
Well, maybe she didn't, but she was doing it a lot, so.
Yeah, if Tyler told me that, I'd be like, stay away from her. She's a whore.
I think that word did come out of my mouth. But I was a little taken aback by the whole fingernail thing. I'm like, whoa, that's like high school business, Ryan.
I was just going to say, in high school, it would be something I would kind of not be so surprised of, but
I said, but even like fingernails,
anything
in high school, I'm like, that's just dragging a fingernail up a guy's back. I said, on the neck? That's like, whoa.
I was pretty naive. I didn't do any kind of flirting. I didn't even know when someone was flirting with me, to be honest with you. I mean, did you know?
No, that's always been my problem. Like, Victor's just like, that guy was totally flirting with you. What? And I'm like, why? Because he asked for my order? I don't get it. I never, it's always the most unexpected things that are happening that Victor thinks someone was flirting with me, or he accuses me of flirting with someone.
Oh,
and
God.
I'm just like, why? Because I'm being nice? I'm like, what do you want me to be? You want me to be a dick to someone?
I don't even know how to flirt. I literally have no idea how to do it. I've never done it. successfully ever. I can't even imagine. I don't even know.
I know how to be me, or I know how to be a total slut. And that's the only ways I know how to be.
I don't know. There's nothing in between. There is no come hither looks. There is no...
I'm not good at any of that. I just look...
Yeah, there's no quippy dialogue. There's nothing. I wouldn't even know. I mean, I'm the stupid person where somebody goes, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Do you like bread? I mean, I don't even know. I don't know.
Yeah, like if they did come up and be like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. How are you?
What's going on?
Yeah, they're just like, can I, you having fun tonight? I'm like, yeah, I think it's okay. I mean,
so it says, hey, can I buy you a drink? I'm like, already got one. Thanks. You know,
I mean, I wouldn't know. I'd be like, oh, no, that's okay. I can buy my own. You don't have to buy me one. You know, like I'm looking out for them.
If some guy went up to me and said, how you doing? I'd be like, I do all right. You? That has happened to me before where I'll go, so how's you doing? And I'm like, fine. Do you know that you don't know me? I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure I'm the one you meant to say hello to? Because I don't think...
Do I know you?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't really know you.
I don't think you look familiar to me.
I don't know him. Yeah, I have no concept of flirting. I don't know how to do it myself. I wouldn't even know how to do it.
I would. I just walk up there and I'd be like, hello.
I think my idea of flirting is when I do extended eye contact with someone. That's the only thing that's my only trick. That's my only trick.
Now that I'm old, it's on accident because I'm trying to look at something and I realize I've been staring at someone for 10 seconds.
I'm like, sorry, I have a stigmatism. I don't know. I thought you were someone else. I apologize.
I'm like, oh, hey, you. Sorry.
I wasn't actually looking at you.
I was looking at the menu above you. I was looking
at the clock over there. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to eat. Have you had the chili fries? Yeah. But occasionally, if I get a glance of course, this was long ago. If I get a glance of a guy that I think might be cute from afar and he sees me and I catch him, and then we'll do the extended eye contact and there's always a coy little smile. That's my favorite thing.
That's good.
Yeah, but that's not flirting. I don't have any verbal flirtation skill whatsoever.
I couldn't do that. I'd start laughing.
Yeah, no, that was my only thing. That was my only move.
Me, my face would look like I smelled a fart or something like that.
Yeah, I have no verbal game. I can only do the distant, it's like, oh, I saw her from across the room kind of shit. That's it. That's all I got.
I'm pretty forward, and I wouldn't call it flirting. I just, I see something I like. I'm like, hey, Emma, you're pretty cute. You want to dance with me?
Really? And did it work?
Yeah, it's worked pretty well for me. Or I'd be like, hey, you're pretty cute. You want to buy me a drink?
Hey, you're pretty cute. I could never do that with a straight face. It would not work.
Well, I don't usually have a straight face. I have a big smile on my face.
That's good that you're so forward. I am not. I am so not.
Wow.
Did I ever tell you about the time that Daryl cockblocked me?
What?
Yeah. We were not dating yet. We were sleeping with each other. That was it. Okay. I mean, it was very early on. We were not in a committed anything. He was newly single and I was just living my life. I was allowing it. I didn't have a lot of feelings for him yet, but I was single. Uh-huh. I had to go to this event. The company we both worked for had to go to an event at this place. And there was a lot of vendors there. A lot of clients were there. And there was this one client that sold boats, like all kinds of boats, fishing to yacht. They were a really big client. And so there was a bunch of people from their company there. And I was there, I don't know, doing whatever I had to do. One of the guys that was there was pretty cute, but I didn't, like I said, I don't flirt. I don't know what that is. And I was working, so I had no mind of my own at all. But ultimately, after doing a bunch of stuff and I was interacting with this guy, he was apparently flirting with me, which I did not realize. And then finally he goes, so can I get your number? And I said, what? I go, what? Oh, you want my number? He said, yeah. And I go, oh, I said, well, how about if I give you my work number and you can call me at work? Because I don't give my number out. I never did. We didn't have cell phones back then. It was the old days. So
I always take their number.
I was not going to call him. So I just...
That's why I take their number.
Yeah. And I said, he was cute and I didn't really think it. And I literally didn't think anything of it. So I said, just call me at work. And I gave him my work number and my direct line. And so he called the next day, Monday, or the following work day. He called me. And I was not at my desk, and Daryl picked it up, knowing, because we had the receptionist there, we were kind of friends, and she's like, oh my God, that guy from whatchamacallit boating is calling. And I said, oh, sweet. And I'm like, well, I can't take it right now. Can you just take a message or send him to voicemail? Daryl picked up that fucking call. He called him back and he said, hey, she's not available. She's seeing somebody. Don't call again.
Oh, that is so funny.
And he told me, and he goes, I just want you to know what I did. And I said, what? I'm like, how dare you? I was so mad. I'm like, you cock-blocked me? Asshole! Like, who do you think you are? I gave him my number for a reason. He's like, but you said you wanted to see me. It was crazy. It was so crazy. I had never been so angry in my life at him. Isn't that insane?
That's funny. That's really funny.
I actually thought about just going out with this guy for the sake of it, but the dude was like, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'm sorry. She gave me your number.
Was he rich or something?
No. He was just a guy. He's like, and in fact, the argument, he's like, what were you going to do? Marry him? Like, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to do. I don't even remember his name.
I don't know my life.
I was like, you don't know my life. I might. Maybe I will. Yeah, you know what? I think I will.
Maybe I'll be Mrs. Boat Party person.
I'll be Mrs. Boat. How's that? It was hilarious. And the argument ensued, and I was like, this, because he was very proud of the fact that he was not a jealous person.
Oh, I would have cut him off at that point.
And I said, this coming from the man who claims to never be jealous of anyone ever. Well, I'm not jealous. I'm not. I'm like, you are. I'm like, you're sickening.
I actually like men who are jealous, but I have yet to date someone who's jealous.
You know what? I don't know.
Or maybe I've just never actually been with someone who cared enough about me to be jealous. I don't know.
I don't know. But I hope you gave Ryan some pointers to wait it out for the highfalutin nail girls until high school.
Well, I just told him that, one, don't tell your friends. I liked his idea of inviting her to the library at lunch. I thought that was sweet.
Very innocent and sweet.
I said, watch out for the Mexicans. I said, I'm uncomfortable with it. Not anything, there's anything wrong with the Hispanics. I'm just telling you, I said, I'm only half and I know what I'm like.
We are jalapeno poppers and we're only half. I think it was a blessing.
Do you think we got Dad's 100% libido, though?
Yes.
Sometimes I wonder.
Well, you can wonder, hey, maybe our mother is something, and maybe that's why we're the way we are.
I'm pretty sure Mom's like a Barbie.
I don't think so. I don't think that's true.
I don't know, Jamie. Sometimes I wonder.
Well, first of all, a lady never talks. Never kisses and tells. So if she does,
we talk all the time.
Well, who said we were ladies? God, I was talking about our mom.
I know, right?
Yeah,
but yeah, I know. I think Mom would rather die than ever talk about one of her sexual encounters,
her conquests. I think our mom does. I think our mom did fine. She was single for a long time when we were around, and she didn't seem to have any problem getting a date on a Friday night.
I would laugh if I found out Mom slept with more than 5 people.
I would not be surprised.
Oh, wow.
What?
I don't see it.
No, I refuse to believe that she's a prude, and I think that she did just fine. I think she did just fine. I don't think our mom does. I don't think she has ever wanted for companionship. I think she has the same problem that I have in that you have to choose to be alone in life. It's a wonderful thing to not have to ever be concerned that where your next meal is coming from.
Yeah, that's probably pretty true. I've never really had to worry about that.
I'm not saying that the caliber of man is exceptional. I'm just saying in general terms.
But I mean, there's always dick, yeah.
Yeah, so when I was single, I had to choose to be alone. I had to say no. I said, no, sir. Not this weekend. God.
No dick for me.
None. And I'm choosing it. So.
I choose my choice.
Yes, I live my truth and I choose my choice. God damn it. It's true. All right.
Well, lesson learned on that one.
Yes.
So, anywho's, so we have some H-Ugly and Awkward Moments this week?
Yes, it's time to do our H-Ugly and Awkward Moments of the week. flirting edition, because there are so many fails out there. I thought these were really funny. I once tried to tell a girl she had really pretty eyes. It came out as, whoa, you have huge pupils.
Oh.
That's one way of doing it.
Or someone could tell you they have a freckle in their eye and you bend over and stare at it for 15 minutes while they just look at your tits.
I wonder how many women fall for that line.
Oh, I think a lot.
I have a freckle in my eye. Come in and look.
So you're bending down, looking, staring in their eyes for a long time while your boobs are just hanging out. God. And they're just staring at your boobs, jiggling around.
Look, I'll look down so you can see it. God.
Oh, I can smell your perfume.
Okay. I hate it. And I am gullible too, by the way.
Well, we both were.
Yes. You'll like this one too, the way he said it. When I was in college, I had long hair for a guy. I'm also a redhead, so I have no soul.
Okay.
It was quite a mane. Our one brutally day, I was wearing a long black overcoat while pumping gas, and I heard a voice behind me say, "Hey, baby, want to go back to my place and get warm?" I turned around thinking it must have been directed at someone else, but instead saw the most surprised old man I'd ever seen. When he caught sight of my full beard, he jumped like he had just touched a live wire. He stammered, "Oh, God bless you," as he backpedaled back to his pickup truck and ran over a curb trying to leave the gas station.
Oh my God.
Okay, here's the last one. And he starts with a sigh. This made me laugh. I was flirting with a girl in a bar, and it seemed to be going well. About a half hour into our conversation, I had one of those very strong sneezes, the ones that come out of nowhere and can't be stopped. God, you totally know what he's talking. I ended up snotting into my hand and had a string of goo from my hand to my face when I pulled my hands away. So he walked away.
Oh, God.
Actually,
you can't recover from that.
How do you recover from snot? It's really
Just run
hard.
in the bathroom and then hope she's still sitting there when you get back. I don't know.
Afford her the opportunity to vacate. If you really like somebody and that happens, I would have laughed my ass off and I would have been like, go get a freaking tissue.
I'd be like,
God.
Here's a bar napkin. I don't think it's going to help, but...
Like, go get a towel. Jesus. Is this normal for you?
Right. Do you have allergies?
God. Anyway, those are the Ugly Moments. Flirting Awkward 101.
My goodness.
Yes. Okay, really quick before we close, we have to say goodbye. But, Paula, there's going to be a prequel to Grease.
Shut the front door.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
What?
Let me see.
Why are they ruining everyone's lives?
I don't know. Okay, it says Paramount has hired a screenwriter to write the screenplay for a Grease prequel titled, brace yourselves, Summer Loving. It is with heavy hearts that we relay this terrifying news of a prequel to the hit musical Grease. Readers will recall the events of the original Grease, blah, blah, blah. Despite their obvious, you may also recall a nerve-rattling musical number, blah, blah, blah. The retelling of how they met, tell me more, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Nobody can do Danny Zuko. Who can do Sandy?
I don't even want to know who they're going to cast. They're going to cast stupid ass people that I hate.
I know.
And it's, well,
you know what they're going to do? They're going to cast real teenagers. And so it's going to be weird. They can't do that because, they have sex and stuff. And I don't want to see 16-year-olds doing that shit. But I would hope for the sake of trying to honor the Grease and Grease 2. And I have to tell you, Paula, I kind of like Grease 2 more.
I I like them both for different reasons.
I love Grease too. I was on the other night and I was like,
I know, I watched it.
I watched it too. I love you. And I was like, why am I liking this?
Far away.
I just close my eyes. And I'm like, how is Michelle Pfeiffer never talking about this movie? It's amazing. And I'm like,
I think she was embarrassed by it, to be honest.
She shouldn't be. It's so fun.
Are you kidding me? If I had fucking made that movie, I would like make sure it was like in theaters today. I'd be like pushing for it.
I would wear a pink lady jacket on the Oscar red carpet. I'd be like, look, guys.
I'd be like, look up, motherfuckers.
Hey, Jennifer Lopez made a whole career out of being Selena. I think Michelle Pfeiffer could do the same. I just love it. If they just stick with it, I can deal with the prequel because it doesn't really infringe on anything because it's a story that no one really knows other than the song.
If they can make it like Grease 2, where it's its own individual movie.
Kind of campy and fun and 50s and...
completely unrelated in some way.
Yeah.
Like Grease 2 has had nothing to do with Grease.
Just Dee Dee Khan.
Yeah, but she wasn't even a link, really. I mean,
she just kept taking chemistry over and over again.
Grease 2 stood on its own 2 feet. Grease stood on its own 2 feet. If this movie can stand on its own 2 feet without infringing on Grease, then I'll be okay with it.
Wouldn't it be cool if there were cameos from like Stockard Channing or something?
No, see, that will.
You don't want to link it. You don't want
it'll bleed it together. I don't want that. I want it to... You know, just like when they did that Footloose remake that totally flopped, that nobody ever saw.
Right.
You know, I'm glad.
Me
I'm
too.
glad that thing fell in the toilet and got flushed.
Same with Overboard. No one watched that one.
I forgot they even made that.
Exactly.
You know?
That's how we want it to be. All right. Well, we'll have to keep track of this.
Yeah.
And then we'll go
Actually, we should just steal it from these people and just, you know, go knock them over the head and say, I'm sorry, you're not doing this. We are.
We've decided. We don't care that you're
sorry,
the
John
guy.
August. We're taking it from you.
It's ours now. Okay.
We've just decided it has to be this way.
So it shall be done.
Yes, we are done. So we will see you on Sunday. Hopefully you have a good rest of your week. Easter's coming up, so do your Easter shopping on Amazon, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye!
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.